Hello everyone, this is Anaka Satyabalan Nair from 4MCOM
This is Madhumala Reddy from 2MCOM, Christ Deemed to be University.
and we welcome you all for the Samshodhan Speaker Series.
Today with us, we have Mr. Ranjit Padmakumar, Executive Director, International Sales, 3R Urban Solutions Private Limited, Pune. Ranjit is associated with 3R Urban Solutions Private Limited, Pune, founded in the year 2014 as their executive director and supports them with their international sales and additionally takes care of their South India sales also. Ranjit has 28 years of experience in the field of media and advertisement sales and has been associated with three brands earlier with Malayalam Manorama, Rajasthan Patrika, and Dainik Jagaran, and he is a specialist in integrated sales. Following his passion to contribute to environmental preservation and carbon footprint reduction, he joined hands with his good friend Abhishek Chakranarayan, who founded the company 3R Urban Solutions Private Limited, which manufactures modern age machines that convert food waste or organic waste into compost and is extremely beneficial to nature. They proudly sell made in India machines to as many as 10 countries abroad in addition to domestic sales, and they have over 600 machines installations till date. Hard work, perseverance, and quality control and constant upgradation has been their recipe to success. They are in the process of bringing even more innovation products in the coming years.
Thank you, sir, for accepting our invitation. We are
Thank
glad
you.
to
Thank
have you
you.
on board and welcome to Samshodhan Speaker Series.
Thank you and having me on board. Thank you very much.
So, sir, we have heard about the company and we know how the company is working. And uh, when we think about waste composting, we always think how it should be done in a primitive manner. But it's 3R Urban Solutions which got innovation into it and made the whole process quite easier. So, sir, can you just tell us what inspired you to join the company and share us the story behind the company?
Yeah, sure. I'll do that. See, now this is a very interesting episode which happened in my life. 2011, I visited my colleague's place where there was this young boy. He was around 11 years. He was in his sixth or seventh standard. He showed me this process of food waste composting, which his dad did in the traditional style of in the composting it in mud pots. You fill it up and then it drops down and then it drops down, and the bottom part is the pure compost. So I thought that was a very interesting thing, and then I started implementing it in my backyard in drums. Yeah, and that's a very traditional thing. So from 2011 to 2024, that is right now, no food waste, no green waste has gone out of my house to the collecting sources. I compost all my waste and I use it for my garden. So practically, I've been testing the effectiveness of this food composting cycle, and I found it really uh, well advisable to preach people to adapt this. And then somewhere down the line, about 7 years ago, I met Abhishek through a common friend. And then I was also researching on this composting thing, and then I wanted to really meet somebody who made machines. And that is how Abhishek and me got to know each other. And I met Abhishek, and Abhishek was in the business of manufacturing these machines. Then I thought that was a great thing to be for and to kind of assist him to take this initiative forward. He wanted me to join him, but at that point of time, I couldn't because I was busy with my media life. Then what happened later when I came out of the media life, and then again we met and discussed, and I then said, okay, fine, we'll join hands together and continue this initiative for all our future days in life. And that is how I got into it. This is the basic inspiration. That small boy inspired me about this activity, which is much beneficial to planet Earth. That's a really got into this. And if you want to know about the formation of the company, Abhishek is a management graduate who worked with his dad in his factory, and he had good knowledge of engineering, manufacturing, the machine processing, and things like that. With that wisdom, whatever he gained, he helped himself in the production and manufacture of these machines, and then both of them took up this profession very, very seriously. His dad had a factory which is used to make fabricating components and other machine parts for the industrial belt of Pune. So it came very handy to him, and that's how he believed in manufacturing and selling it, because that also gives you much possibilities of research and development, and happens in your own factory. That is much better than depending on somebody else. That is how the whole story started in 2014. Since last 3 years, we've really cracked big accounts. Yeah. So that is the inspiration and the story of the company.
Also, it was quite inspiring. While building your business, you have been faced many challenges. Can you please explain what are the challenges you have faced while building and growing your business?
Yeah, see, now the biggest challenge, I'll tell you what, honestly, I would tell you the convincibility, how a person gets convinced to implement a waste composting machine in his campus. That is the biggest challenge, because see, as far as the quality of the machine is concerned, we are very, very sure that our machine would be the best, because to survive in an international market, unless you are quality bound and we are very serious about upgradation, we will not find an international market. So then today we are exporting to about 10 countries. So if we are exporting to 10 countries, we are following certain strict mandates, which has been laid by an organization called as a NUV. Now, what happens is, if we do not convince a client and the client is not convinced, the movement of the machine will simply not take place. Secondly, the priority which is kept aside for implementing or installing this machine is the least. Probably when a company is coming up, you take care of the rest of the development. Waste, composting, all those aspects are given a little less priority, but things are improving now. I think as days pass by, people will get more conscious about how betterment to the environment would really matter, because you have all these ESG norms coming in. Things are looking up better. And it also depends of how best the officials who are concerned with maintaining all these environmental aspects are strict in implementing these rules. Some governments, state governments, have implemented this. The movement of these machines are happening very, very nice in these places. We hope that other governments will also come forward and implement mandates. And then you can see a kind of an overall development of people being more conscious towards this aspect. I think the days are coming in soon. Apart from that, we don't find any challenges. The machines are good quality. A person who buys it, he's convinced. Then there is a word of mouth, and the second person buys it. But to break that particular barrier, why should I do it now, is the biggest challenge, which we are addressing it quite effectively these days.
Yes, it's right. These days, because of various norms, and everyone, not just individuals, even the
Yeah,
company, everybody is actually being concerned about sustainability and getting sustainable element into their business model.
correct.
So, sir, 3R Urban Solutions got technology into waste composition. Can you walk us through the whole process, how that waste is getting composted with the help of the machine?
Yeah. Do you want me to show up something right now, or would you like me to explain it?
It would be your choice, sir. If you
Okay,
want
let me
to
see.
show
Let me
anything,
see if I can put up something on.
yes, just it's
Yeah,
getting,
yeah.
yes, sir.
Now, this is a basic diagram which explains. I will just say to a diagram, if you want to see a video, I have a video also which would probably clarify it better. But the basic concept of how the machine works is like this. I am showcasing a machine which is called as a Schnell composter. Schnell in German means quick, brisk, something which is fast. Why do we call it so? Because the composting procedure is only of 24 hours. You put a waste today, tomorrow you get the compost. Otherwise, if it is a natural process, it will take about 21 to 30 days. If it is not contained, then it vitiates the whole atmosphere. What happens is, basically, the food waste generates methane, which is almost about 17% more toxic than your carbon dioxide and monoxide. It also retains the heat in the atmosphere, which contributes to global warming. So that's why we say these things need to be composted at source. Wherever there is a wastage, you compost it. If you put it in a landfill, then what happens? The gases emanate, and that is bad for both human and animals, right? But when you convert into a compost, it is nutritious for the soil. You give it back to planet Earth, and planet Earth is benefited. So you make your place a better place to be now, live, and for the future generations. So now I will explain to you what exactly happens in a machine. So what happens is, this is the container where you put in the machines, right? The wet waste is added here. Wet waste is nothing but whatever you're wasting. It can be your food residues, you can be part of your non-veg, the bones and things like that. It can be your shredded vegetables, peels, anything which is edible, right? So now what happens is, you put it there, and then this is all menu driven. It's all completely computerized. You have a tool, you have a box there, instruction box. You just have to press the start button. Then what happens is, the blades which are inside starts moving. These blade mix and create a kind of a homogeneous mixture. That is, everything is mixed together. Then what happens is, when you mix almost about 70 to 75 volume of the volume reduces. You know how it reduces? Because the water evaporates. Once a vapor comes out of it, the water evaporates and the heater activates. The more the heat, the vapor comes out, your volume starts reducing. And then what happens is, 90% of the volume reduction is achieved when you activate. We have added microorganisms, right? These microorganisms are nothing but extremophilia. These are bacteria which survive in extreme conditions. We have heat generation, which is a massive heat generation inside the machine, but these bacteria survive. These help in composting and breaking down the live matter and converting into compost. So this mixing plus the heat generation plus the activation of the bacteria breaks down the entire composition, and you get compost. And finally, what happens? After 24 hours, there is another procedure where you open the small outlet, and the compost falls, and the compost is distributed to people, or farmers, or you can take up this compost to your homes and fill into your pots. Simple. That's all. That's a simple procedure. Add, switch on the heater. Once you start operating the operating the machine, just when you start, it goes. The machine reads by itself. It's all computers. You will have no hassle. So you add your waste, the mixing happens, then the heat interface happens, then your microorganisms get on to play, and then a compost is created, and finally the compost can be collected. If you want to have a quick look at the video, I can show you something which has been done it's a small format, which has been done in the campus. That will make it more clear. Just give me 1 minute. I'll just pull out the video.
Yeah, sure, sir. Because showing it how it can be
Sure.
implemented.
I understand that. I understand, because a similar kind of questions prevailed in my mind till I went and saw this happening in the factory. I was not convinced. So I'm very sure you will. I'll also tell you how a machine probably looks. Probably you won't have formatted some kind of an idea. You would have after going in through my website. But whatever it is, I will just show you a particular machine which is about 1,000 kilos, which is in a mall in Pune. So probably you'll get to know the dimensions. It's quite big. 1,000 kilos is quite big, but it is kept in a mall which has so many eateries. So by evening, you will have truckload of wastage coming. You put it in a landfill, you're going to vitiate the atmosphere there. So instead of that, this installed machine takes care of the complete composting process, and there are people who come and take the end product, which is the compost. I will just get you to see all these things. 2 minutes.
Yeah, sure, sir. Yes, sir. It's getting loaded. Yes, sir.
You can see this now?
Yes, sir.
See now, this is the client who came in from Australia. I will come to that later. The client is actually inspecting the machine. The person in the front, black shirt and blue jeans, is Abhishek. He's explaining to them the operation manual, how the things are. This is 1,000 kilos waste handling machine. So now you see the staircase. The staircase is simply to lift the person up who goes with the basket full of vegetable waste. He would go to the top, drop it inside, and close it and come and activate the machine. When you press the machine on, all the locks activate, and there is nothing like, you can go and open up and see. No, you cannot do that, because the moment you open up a door, the whole machine stops. So safety wise, we are very, very sure that the machine doesn't create any problem. So this is basically to give you an idea of how a 1,000 kilos machine works. We have machines which handle 25 kilos up to 2,500 kilos. So this is somewhere in between. This is 1,000 kilos. And this is the Schnell composter, which we are explaining to you right now, which activates the waste composition process within 24 hours. You put your waste today, so 1,000 kilos will have that much of capacity. Imagine 900 kilos to 1,000 kilos. You can add another, say, probably 100 kilos more. So imagine 1,000 kilos of waste which is converted into compost the next day. What benefit it brings to the people out there. It's huge benefit, because if this kind of a wastage was sent to a landfill, it would have created so much of methane. And at least let's be proud that 1,000 kilos would of wastage have saved so many X units of carbon footprints. So this is how it works. So now you're clear about the machine?
Yes, so yes, it was really like the whole explanation made our imagination change about how.
So now you should see 2,500. It'll look like a rocket. Yeah. Okay. Now I'll take you somewhere else. Now this is over. Let me see what best I can show you next. Now
So the
you would,
whole, like changing 1,000 kilos completely, and like it made it so easier. And like you said, so the whole carbon
yeah.
footprint, everything is getting reduced to like double, thrice.
Yes, yes, yes. Now I'm just telling you, I am just a small video which will take you through the process to understand better. This is an earlier machine, but nevertheless, this is all improvised to basically get you an idea of how things work. All these panels have today been concealed into a box. The handling is much, much easier. That's a box which you see on the top. That's where the waste. So you saw 1,000 kilos. This is just about 25. So it is mini size. So these are the things which can be added there. Vegetable waste, food waste, non-veg waste, and stuff like that. So this guy is dropping it inside. See, that's the panel which opens, and he puts it inside. And the blades are activating it. So your food is getting mixed. Your food waste is getting mixed. But now you saw how the volume is reducing. When the heat is activated, now you see what happens. The microorganisms start working. Where is the food waste? You can't see your tomatoes, you can't see your cauliflowers, no potatoes seen. It is all comes into compost. Now the door opens and you press another button, and this is what you get out of the food waste you saw some time ago. Can you believe it is all those tomatoes and cauliflowers which were there about two slides earlier? That's it. That simple it is.
Okay, sir. You explained how the machine works and how it get composed and all.
Yeah.
Are these machines are only for commercial purpose, or we can use it for household purpose also?
Good question. I think you have asked a very good question. Now, see, right now, our targets are usually the commercial places. I will tell you where our machines actually sell. Malls, because you have a lot of population coming there, right? A lot of people coming there. You have residential societies. Like, you have those apartments which are like 200, 300, 500 and stuff like that. You have small units of apartments, like 30 to 40 apartments. You have schools and colleges which have canteens. You have software offices, right? You have villas. Maybe one residential area will have 20 villas and they will have a machine. So these are the places which we are actually selling wastages from 25 to 2005, there would be vegetable yards which make cut fruits and exporting fruits and vegetables for many trade reasons. Like there could be squashes, there could be pickles and things like that, where the wastage will be huge. So you have machines as much as 2,500. There is somebody who's placed in machine of waste handling capacity of almost about 5,000 kilos. So 2,500 kilos have been interconnected, So that is the demand which is happening. But having said that, 24-25, that is this year, we are almost on the finalization stage. We are coming out with machines which can be handled by households also. That is, if I want to keep, since I am passionate about this, I don't need to have, see now the general calculation, one estimated wastage which is generated out of a house. Let's say husband, wife, two kids, and a senior, and probably a pet. Okay, normal Indian family would generate a waste capacity of 850 grams to 1,000. Right. So one family would require only that much per day. Maybe today eating outside is also become a fashion. So even that contribution towards the wastage would be less because you will have only plastics and things like that, which we don't really. We only go in for food waste or organic waste. So now when you have this kind of small machines, it becomes very easy for a person at home to put it into the machine. Maybe it will fill about 5 kilos, 6 kilos, switch it on, you get compost, you put it onto your pots. So having answered your question, this year, we could bring in these machines which are actually going to benefit the households. And I'm sure that you will all be sent the necessary profiles of the machines, which you can probably display in your environmental classes or something like that. I will ensure that these information reaches you soon as we launch. Right now, we have profiles of machines from 25 to 1,000. But having said that, the small units, whenever they come, I'll keep you informed. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. So we are looking forward to it.
Sure.
And yes, like for our when I am concerned about my household, of course the usual waste we do segregate waste, but it would be really helpful if we can do it at our home space,
Yeah.
because the compost that we are getting, it can be used for further uses.
Yeah, absolutely. You should be conscious. See, what happens is today you should do something which will benefit our generation for tomorrow and benefit you in the process. Because, do something which will bring you a lot of joy. It's not always in the life. We say making money is not everything. Money is just a
True, true.
money is just a process. Money is needed. It's not that money is not needed. Money is needed, but then when you do things which brings around all round satisfaction, that is where you feel you get a different kick. Because I come from a past where I was selling media and stuff like that, but then suddenly the kind of satisfaction which I now get when I am conscious of the fact that my machine has reduced so many units of carbon footprints, and how I'm contributing to the environmental benefits, that gives me a kick of a different level. I mean, I think I should be fortunate to have met Abhishek in the process, and having this mentality of practicing it since that young boy who told me. I think that those two three things in life has given a lot of meaning when you do all these things. I think you should all practice it at home at some point of time. There are basic elements of composting which you can find from internet and do it. But then as you graduate and as you tread into a future corporate sector, you should start talking about this. A lot of people get convinced and they buy these machines. Maybe you get employed in an office. You should start telling these things, because you are contributing to the environment as a green warrior, and take it as a matter of pride. Today we earn a lot of pride when we sell made in India machines abroad. Yeah. So if you have places like US, Australia, France, which is going to buy our machines, and it is made in India, so that you are somehow done something very big for the country. Yeah, and for and globally also. Yeah.
Yes, true, sir.
Yeah.
So this shows that innovation doesn't stop here for the company, and it is getting adding on more benefits for the company as well as for us, the customers,
Right.
and making life more easier. So,
Absolutely.
sir, I'm sure that the competition in this sector is also quite
Yeah.
high. So, how
Yeah.
would you rate your competition, and what are the current approaches that the company has incorporated in order to like become the front runner in the whole industry? Could you please share us the
Yeah,
same?
yeah. See, competition is always required in life, right? If you don't have competition, then what happens is you naturally drift yourself to a comfort zone. And comfort zone is very, very dangerous because you get complacent. Be it studies, be it profession, be it business. Competition should always be respected because that is where you are scaled up with your qualities of contesting competition and how betterment will happen there. So we respect competition, but we always tell, see now if I'm talking about this field, we are there should be around 250 to 300 companies making machines like this in different specifications. We know that there are machines, but we know that very few machines have been able to cater to international standards. And why is that happening? That is simply because the components which we use, the raw materials which we use, the bacteria which we introduce, the microorganisms, the internal shredders, the crushers, the complete power supply, the assembly, everything is of top quality. If the top quality is not maintained, then for sure we will have challenges. See, now we have clients. I don't want to take the names of clients and competition because it doesn't look nice. There is a reputed group which bought our machine at X price. For the next project, they bought a competition's price for a minute difference of 50,000 rupees, 50. Mind you, the project is a multi-crore aspect, but for 50,000 less price, they took a waste composting. Within 6 months, that machine developed problems. They called us back, bought our machine at our price with no discounts. And today we are running a deal because it is not right to mention the competition's name and the because it's not nice. So we always respect competition, but it is a big builder group. It's a big builder group from Mumbai. So, having said that, challenges from competition we face on the price front. But let me tell you another story also. See, now we have two machines. Let's. I'll tell you something which is internally prevalent with us. We have a Schnell composter. We also have a Rapido composter. This is basically to address the pricing factor. Maybe if you have seen companies, the companies will have one layer of product. Like if, for example, if you have a Louis Philippe shirt, you'll also have a Peter England shirt. But if you see it is by its you will find the price difference at some point of time because the company needs to cater to all type of customers, right? Now, if I'm enjoying a particular level of life, I can go for a certain amount of goods and vehicles at that particular price. If I don't, it doesn't mean that I need to stop my dreams there. I can go for a better price label. So likewise, we have placed a Schnell composter and a Rapido composter, but still, not that this Rapido composter is using inferior products. No, we will never do that. But yes, a quality will be a little different. But we'll tell them you have both the options. We will tell you Schnell, which is the premium, you will have no problem. Rapido will also not give you a problem. But then, yes, we would suggest, we recommend, since you are a big builder or a big college or a big software, go for Schnell because spending another 1 lakh or 1 lakh 50 is should not be a problem because you will definitely get your returns of your return on investment soon because you are contributing and our machines will never fail. So this kind of challenges from competition. Now, how do I also keep up with standards? Our R&D is very strong, right? We keep upgrading our machines. Now, as we speak, we are introducing cloud composting technology into our machines. AI infusion is happening. So tomorrow, what happens is a client can proudly go into the machine and find the quantity of waste he has preserved from falling into the environment, quantity of compost created, the quality of compost, the nutrient value of the compost. He doesn't have to depend on me on my lab report. He can generate it within the machine. The machine from an automated machine now becomes a smart machine. So when you offer these kind of technologies, see now you saw the person putting it. Now our machines have a rally system where you can keep the drum there. The machine itself picks it up and drops it into that counter. So you have brought in so much of innovation. Pricing, of course, changes with the cost of raw materials, but we have not placed it exorbitant. Like a 30 crore project can't buy a 10 lakhs worth machine, you know. So well, talking about that, it is always about innovation. It is always about technical upgradation. It is always moving with times. That keeps us ahead of competition, much ahead of competition, and then qualifying for international market. That's a very tough process. We have to go through certain certifications, and we have got all the certificates. So I hope it answers your question. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So, as you said, the competition and the challenges you face, can you please discuss a specific story or a milestones that you're proud of?
Okay, now let me say something. Okay, milestone. Okay, now we have a company called Zinc Australia, right? So Zinc Australia, going by the ESG norms, also has constituted a second company, which is called as Think Evo Solutions. This is basically getting into green initiatives. So I used to have discussions with their global MD, and somewhere down the line I presented this concept, and he was very interested in knowing more about it. So I explained to him. Abhishek and I went, we got into like conversations like what we are having right now. We had teleconferencing with him, his team, and they finally decided they'll come down to Pune to see the machines. So they wanted to know whether we had our own factories. So they came to our factory. They spent 2 days going through the process of factory. I can show you the, if you have time on you, I can show you the factory also if you have time on you, because I've got all the files with me. So these people coming in, these people seeing those machines. I showed you the same people who had come. So the global MD is there, and the investment head is also there. They came to multiple places where we had fixed machines, talked to our workers. We had a photo session with the factory workers. They were purely convinced. They go back and they place an order. Now, additionally, what happened in the process of getting the order, we also tied up with them for distributor arrangements. He will be catering to about 6 countries. So from one visit, from machine, he is going to get us business across 6 countries. So you can value it how the quality of machines are impressed people from Australia, and who are telling us we will take your product abroad much ahead of what we expected and hope for. So now this is the way you treat foreign companies. We treat them with absolute trust. We treat them with beautiful quality, which they will see. Now installing a machine abroad is not like installing a machine in Delhi, Bombay, where you can fly overnight and attend to it. You have to have quality there. You have to use the best of material, because if any machine falls short of expectation, then there will never be a repeat order. We are having beautiful relations with EcoRich, which is a company in US, for the past 6 years. We are having similar relationship with another player in Spain, who is now planning to build a factory there in Spain to reduce the transport time. So Abhishek would be setting up his factory in Spain to manufacture machines there to cater to in and around countries. So now you can see how the goodwill has grown. This is how we take care of international requirements. And this one particular case which you said I could highlight. And another thing, a beautiful deal which Abhishek has done with Godrej Properties is he has signed up a 5-year deal with them. 5 years. They will not look at competition across all the properties which are currently in and all the properties which are coming in. I mean, these are beautiful relations which are running on the platforms of trust, quality, and beautiful after sales service. So we are very particular about all those aspects.
So, sir,
I think I think these 2 cases, domestic and international, I think should sufficiently answer your questions. of why we pride ourselves and our machines. Yeah,
Yes, so this shows that it's the customer, the relationship that you are having with the customers. It's
right, right.
purely built on trust, quality, and the
Yeah,
standards that you keep up.
correct.
No matter how many innovations you bring in,
Absolutely.
you make sure that the quality is set up to its
Absolutely,
the
absolutely.
proper.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
So, sir, can you tell us about what would be the future of sustainability in this particular field, and how is the company preparing for it? Like right now, the company is focusing on organic waste, but is there any further expansion the company is thinking about?
Yeah. We are planning to expand into a lot of aspects. Now we will have these household things which we told you we are going to introduce, which are going to benefit the households individually more than the corporate sets or the unity, the community aspect. We are talking about individual homes. We are planning to bring about a biogas project also, which will harness the gas which is emanated for cooking purpose. So now you know where it is getting, and it is not a small thing. So we will also be introducing products which are biodegradable. So you will have paste, you will have creams and all these things wherein you don't have to dispose of the container which is plastic and which is going to. So we'll have one division which is up and running. We are doing it successfully, but launching it nationally, internationally will take a little more time. So that will answer our future projects. The second aspect which you wanted to know is uh, how we
Sustainability.
qualify. See, now what happens is certification is very important. So we have certifications from NUV. We have all these certifications which you have, which is required to export to countries, export to other countries. Right now, we are processing one for Australia because once we qualify, our machine goes out. Um, how are we gearing up? How are we gearing up? We are gearing up. See, now what happens is there is, again, I'm going back to the same point, ESG norms. That is environmental social governance. Environmental social governance actually maps a company of how best it holds its people resources, how it includes inclusivity in its organizational structure, and how does it work, how its work impacts the environment. So ESG norms actually benefits the company in multiple manners. There'll be a lot of investors who will be actually looking into all these things before they put monies. So a company which is very, very strong on its ESG norm will actually stand ahead of others. So when we address those kind of requirements, we also should ensure that our machines are catering to their dreams and vision. Suppose if I have a company and I say that I will contribute towards the rejuvenation of a lost ground or a vitiated animal, my machine should add to his vision. If I don't match up to him, why should he simply come to me? He can go to somebody else. So we take up those things very, very emotionally. For us, a machine is a transfer of our emotion to a client's place. I mean, it is just not one dabba which you go there, you say, and waste is gone and finished, and tomorrow we say tata bye bye, we got our monies and see you. No, when the client extends his good reviews to another person, and the other person calls up and says, hey, look, this so and so, this CEO or this MD or this chairman called us and said that this is a machine, why don't you come and explain to us? That is when we say that we have been successful, and that is exactly what is happening to us right now, and we hope to keep this momentum ahead.
Okay, sir. As you explained how your company is preparing, and before we wrap up, could you please share any advice that you would like to give to our aspiring entrepreneurs based on your experience?
Okay, now the entrepreneurs, right? What do I say? Let's do like this. Uh, See, now every entrepreneur should be very focused on what he's going to do. Okay, now you are setting up something, some enterprise. Let's not get disturbed in between. There is no shortcut to hard work, right? The recipe to success is only hard work. There is no shortcut. Be prepared for hard work and be very focused. Be a visionary. Don't be money minded. Because your project might get you, and if you're running after money, it will not survive for a long time. Sustainability will happen only if you have a vision. Constantly upgrade. So be focused on what you do. Be a visionary, set your goals and visions of your company very, very strong. Work towards it. Spend a lot of hours researching, upgrade, technically upgrade. Because remember, at the end of the day, only the best will last. There is no shortcut to success. So I would say focus, vision, upgradation. These are the three primary elements which every budding and entrepreneur should be having with them. That's it. That's how we came up, and our upgradations instincts are still very strong. That is why I told you there's so many things coming up. So we practice what we preach. In short,
Thank you so much,
Thank
sir.
you, sir.
Because the yes, this actually we got the inspiration, and this taught us like entrepreneurial journey is not a very small one. It's
right,
full of
right,
challenges, and yes, of course, sustainability. Bringing in sustainability aspect these days, it's quite important to have a long term goal, to have a long term achievement,
yes,
and like we have to push ourselves no matter what, and that's the basic essence
sure,
of being an entrepreneur.
absolutely, absolutely, yeah.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
And as this interview comes to an end, on behalf of Christ Deemed to be University, we would like to once again thank you, sir, for joining today for the Samshodhan Speaker Series. It was indeed a pleasure, and we look forward to have more and more talks with you, sir.
Thank you, thank you, your team, and the panel of experts who found me fit enough to come on this August panel of discussion. Thank you for having me here. I hope I have answered your questions well.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
sir.
Yes.
Hope we all come up together as green warriors and make this planet Earth a better place to live. In case if there are doubts or anything, which you can always feel free to write in, and I will ensure that I'll reply to all your mails. Thank you. Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you
You,
so
sir.
much,
Thank
sir.
you, sir.
Thank you.